Good afternoon and welcome to today's edition of KTN Scoreline. And when you think about KTN Scoreline, a lot of some sporting extravaganza. We are here to tell you what is happening and in much more details. Today we've decided we are not doing the studio business because we have some action. And when you think about that action, we are following the action. And with that in mind, we're here to tell you what is happening at the Elijah Lidonde Memorial Cup. At this particular time, what is happening, we are very, very categorically looking at the Kakamega Homeboys side. They are trailing. We are at halftime. Kakamega Homeboys against Nzoia Sugar. Who's leading? Nzoia Sugar is leading, and for Nzoia Sugar, they have been able to score 3 goals. So with the 3 goals, Nzoia Sugar, they are saying that we are dancing and we want to win this extravaganza. And with that in mind, at least at this particular hour, they've been able to score 3 goals in the first 45 minutes. And they have some other 45 minutes. Maybe they will add the tally, or just maybe Kakamega Homeboys will fight back and they will be able to score 3 goals and maybe add another goal and take the victory. And when you think about that, it's not easy. But when we remember what exactly transpired at the just concluded Kenya Premier League, Kakamega Homeboys are finished on the 2nd position and they have a lot of expectation. Let me just show you what is happening on the other side. The Nzoia Sugar team, at this particular time, they are celebrating because they know exactly what they have been able to do at this hour, and that is score 3 goals. And when they score 3 goals, they are dancing and they are saying, yes, out. And we will just go and listen in what exactly their tactician is telling them at this particular hour, because for Nzoia Sugar coming into this tournament, not everybody thought that they will be able to down none other than Kakamega Homeboys. So for this particular hour, Nzoia Sugar are on the lead and they have been able to do some extraordinary, impeccable work and scored 3 fantastic goals. And with that, they are leading. The person who scored their first goals is James Kibande. 21st minute, he was able to rack in the first goal. Lewis Okello on the 33rd minute was able to score the 2nd goal. And then James Kibande added his brace. And with the brace, at this particular time, his side is leading. Very, very important 3 goals. They've just finished their team talk halftime conversations, and with that they are poised and they are going back to the pitch. So there is a lot that is happening here. We are in Mumias, and in Mumias, these people, this place is known for a lot of some football action. I don't think about the football action that we have. We also have some spectators who are here. And I can see some guys have decided to eat big, at the same time preview some footage. So fans are here in large numbers. So remember, you can tune to KTN News live, but at the same time, you can. Someone here wants to hype himself out.
I'm not hyping myself, but you know, I'm so happy.
So let's do it in a very, very formal way. Yes. Let's begin. What's your name? And tell me your name first. And after telling me my name, I will want you to tell me what has excited you today.
My name is Trevor. I'm a civil engineer. I'm so happy here at this stadium whereby lawyers are playing and everybody in the restaurant. They're just they're devoting themselves to this cause, and I'm so happy. Raila was here, Oparanya was here, the whole team was here, and we are so happy about that. Yes.
So he's a happy fan, and he's talked about Raila Odinga. So allow me to take you to what exactly transpired when Raila Amolo Odinga was here. So Raila Amolo Odinga was here, and he had a very, very good conversation. And with that in mind, he was talking about how well we need to nurture sports as a country. Remember, for Kenya, we always have plenty of talent. Sometimes that talent is always neglected, or they go unnoticed. But of key importance, Raila Amolo Odinga said that in his government, if elected the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya, then he will be able to try as much as possible and make sure that all the talents that we have at this particular hour, they at least get the seriousness that they do deserve. At the same time, he's also said that also the legends, they need to be remembered because they did something great for this republic. Let's listen in to what he said while having a conversation earlier while he was here at the Mumias Sports Complex.
Sasa hapa nyinyi hii ni Elijah Lidonde. Lidonde was a legend, a true legend katika taifa letu. Tena alikuwa captain wa Kenya kwa miaka 3 mfululizo. Alipoacha ndio Bob Oronge akachukua hiyo captain wakati ile. Timu hiyo ilikuwa ni timu kali sana. Wakati ile tulikuwa wako na timu ilikuwa ni North Nyanza na Central Nyanza. Sasa kulikuwa South Nyanza vile vile, kulikuwa Rift Valley, kulikuwa Coast, Nairobi na kadhalika. Lakini center of gravity ya kandanda ya mpira ilikuwa hapa Nyanza. Timu ya North Nyanza na Central Nyanza. Hiyo ndio ilikuwa ni teams ambayo kulikuwa kuna kikombe kinaitwa the Remington Cup. Remington Cup ni kama FA Cup today. Hapo. Sasa hiyo ilikuwa inachezwa mwaka kwa mwaka. Hii historia nitarudia baadaye. Lakini sasa baada ya wale legends kucheza, wengine wakakaja nyuma yao. Hapo kwanza wale Elijah Lidonde hapa North Nyanza, Shemshi Moto, Munialo Piche, Seth Lugonzo, Ukumumari Wembe, hiyo ni timu ya North Nyanza. Hapo Central Nyanza kulikuwa naitwa Bob Oronge, kulikuwa na Ambrose Nyapada, ndio nilikuja naye katika mazishi ya Kadenge. Henry Owiti. Hapo kulikuwa na goalkeeper alikuwa anaitwa Onyul Olela, samusa mkati wa Kaloleni. Hiyo ilikuwa hii historia nitarudia, lakini pale hapo sasa nyuma yao kukaja na watu wengine ambaye vile vile wamecheza, watu kina Niva wamecheza, kina Nyanzwa wamecheza, kina Kiranga wamecheza, kina Ngana, Chitechi, Noa Wanyama. Baada ambaye sasa watoto yake sasa tuko na huyo Wanyama wengine na Mariga. Siona hawa. Sasa hii ni kama ile mtu ambaye toka kule mlimani kama Nzoya na maji na beba inapeleka katika ziwa ya Victoria. Sasa ile nyingine ikifika huko Victoria, nyingine inatoka mlimani huko. Sio? Sasa tuko na hawa sasa, hao wanakuja amechukua. Na wale wengine sasa wameretire. Sivyo? Sasa ndio tunasema mpaka tuangalie wale ambao wamecheza sasa wako nje. Meongeje mambo ya health insurance ni sawa. Lakini vile vile tuangalie mambo ya pension ya wale watu ambao walicheza kabisa kwa taifa letu. Utaki kuona kama wanatembea kama mafukara, watu wanawacheka, tuangalia huyu ndio kwa fulani. Hii ni aibu sana kwa taifa, sio? Tutahakikisha kwamba tunakumbuka wachezaji wetu. Pili, sisi tutajenga vituo vya kucheza vizuri. Kama hii sasa hii Mumias Complex tunajenga mzuri na kwa pale ambapo naweza kucheza sawa. Ile Kakamega ambayo Paranya amejenga ile tuna upgrade. Maana sisi tunataka kucheza kuhost kwanza AFCON, tena baadaye tunataka kuangalia mambo ya World Cup. Kama nchi kama Gabon, nchi kama Equatorial Guinea, Burkina Faso inaweza kuhost AFCON na Kenya haiwezi. Maana sisi tutahakikisha kwamba Mombasa iko na stadium ya kisasa. Ingine tutaweka huko Nakuru vizuri, Eldoret, Kisumu, Kericho, kila mahali eneo yetu hii. ili vijana wetu wanakuwa na proper facilities ya kutrain. Gymnasium iko kule ndani pale ambapo vijana wanaweza kutrain ili muscles yao develop vizuri, ukipiga double kama ile ya Elijah Lidonde. Tuta improve standard of soccer katika taifa letu. Alafu tunakuwa na academies pale ambaye vijana wanakuwa trained. Unaangalia wale vilabu katika Ulaya, Man U iko na academy, Chelsea iko na academy, Arsenal iko na academy, hata Real Madrid iko naye, hata PSG, hata Bayern Munich. Sio pale ndio vijana talents inakuwa recruited, hapo inakuwa trained, alafu wanachukuliwa. Nchi hizi za mfukara kule West Africa wako na hizo, kama Senegal iko naye, Ivory Coast iko naye, nchi hata Mali wako naye, Ghana wako naye, Nigeria. Ndio unaona wachezaji wao wanacheza huko Ulaya katika hizo teams leagues za juu.
A very good question that Raila Amolo Odinga is asking. When you think about the facilities in this country, I think that will be the answer, because why are we not hosting Africa Cup of Nations in Kenya? Why are we not hosting CHAN in this republic? Why are we not having a national team that can go out there and compete? At this particular hour, we don't even have a federation, so that tells you we're not even on the good books when we think about FIFA at this particular time, because other countries, smaller countries per se, if we argue, in the continent of Africa are doing some spectacle when you think about football. But Kenya, we're lagging behind. But just maybe, and hopefully things will be able to turn around and we'll go back to the glory days. And talking about the glory days, I'll take you to the 1950s to 1961. We had a very good football player. I'm talking about Elijah Lidonde. I know we've talked about players in this country and the number of goals that they have been able to score. Let me give you a stat that maybe you didn't know. In that span of almost 11 years, Elijah Lidonde played the national team. He scored 33 good goals. I'm talking about 33 being the number of goals and the number of appearances being only 26. So he has much more larger number of goals that he scored than the number of times that he represented the country. But remember, for 3 good years, he was the captain of the Republic of Kenya when you think about Harambee Stars. And that is why we're saying a legend that forever will be remembered because of what he did for this republic. Now let's talk with the son. I'm talking about Tony Lidonde, and we're talking. You also had a fair share of some good times playing football, at the same time being a very important member of the national team, and also at this particular hour, one of other legends that we are saying they are living legends and we still have to remember them. How has the journey been? And tell me something little about the tournament that we're having now.
About the tournament we are having right now is that we sat the injuries they got, everything that they got by the time they were playing football, they actually, what I can say is that they can't even walk, some of them, they are not even walking at this time. What they are doing is being lifted, no help, nobody cares about them. So actually what we are doing with this tournament is we are trying to remember actually the people who played with my dad, and we are trying to remember the legends that played with me streets, I'm telling you, you'll sympathize with them. So what we are doing right now is to make sure that we are going to help the organization that we've got right now. We are going to help the people who played football and they can't support themselves. So what I'm going to do actually to tell you is that the patron we have, he is a gentleman because he gave us everything. When my mother passed on, he made sure that the tournament will be on, and actually everything that we were doing, the patron was there with us, and he was actually telling us, I'll make this thing to happen. And it has happened. And what I can say is to thank the patron, Alex Muteshi, being our patron and being a brother, that what he's doing right now is something very nice.
Now, let's talk about the talent that is here on display. We have very formidable
we have to start with the small boys now, the academies. Without academies, then we have nothing. Because you can't even play football when you don't even know how to control the ball. When we have so many academies in Kenya, then that's the time we have to start talking about football. But right now, we can't talk about football. Like this field right now, as you can see, nobody's using it. Yeah, but if we have so many teams that are participating in these tournaments, then the being played here, the senior teams are always beaten by the smaller teams. So I don't know what normally happens. Like right now, Zoe is leading a team that came to what number? Number 2. The team that was number 2 in the league is trailing by 3-0. Yeah.
So just allow me, we will come back to this. Exactly one man who's been at the helm of Football Kenya Federation in the years that passed. I'm talking about Peter Kenneth. There is a time that he was the FKF boss. And while at it, he did some positives. At the same time, others will argue he did some negatives. But this is what he's saying that needs to be done when we think about the local football.
Na iliyo muhimu sana is to see how we can nurture talent. Hiyo ndio muhimu. Mimi nakumbuka nikisainia Michael Koth form ya kuenda Belgium kabla Origi hajazaliwa. And the first time I saw Origi, he was 2 years old in Belgium, Brussels. And I didn't even think that 2-year-old could play for the national team of Belgium, let alone play for Liverpool. So your dreams can be valid if you work hard on them. Ile mimi niko na understanding ni kwamba serikali ya baba, and he's very passionate about football, ni serikali ambayo itafikiria mambo ya football, because football is the fastest way of growing talent out of Kenya, and football can create better employment opportunities kuliko hiyo mambo tunaambiwa tushike wheelbarrow. Sijui tutaenda wapi na wheelbarrow. Sijaona wheelbarrow inacheza football, sivyo? Iliyo muhimu, and I know Baba has that in mind, is that every county must have proper football facilities and youth centers so that people in that county can develop their talent.
So it's all about talent and what exactly the country can be able to do, because we have quite a number of good players. But the question is, do we give these players the seriousness that they do deserve? If you ask me, I will say no. I don't know what you think, but at this particular hour, we have a caretaker committee. Is the caretaker committee doing the best to lead football in this country? Personal opinion, I will say no, because there is a lot more that can be done. We have other national teams. For instance, the basketball team ought to travel to Egypt. They didn't have finances to do that. The volleyball team, they have always had a very, very good outing when they represent the country. They also wanted money to travel in. The government said they never had money to sponsor them, but they still do have money to be utilized in the caretaker committee. Are they doing the best job? Be the judge. I will not be able to answer that. But tell me, in your general assessment as we finish this conversation, what exactly do you think needs to be done for the local football to be where it used to be, or even maybe to go even much more higher?
One thing that we have to talk about is you have to look forward and see who are running the football. If the caretaker committee itself, it doesn't have anybody. Let me say they've got only 3 or 4 players on the committee. And football in Kenya needs to be led by footballers only. People who've played football, people who know more about football. But if you take anybody to be a caretaker, then even that person doesn't know that, okay, if I do this is wrong, if I do that is wrong or right. So let football be run by people who know football and who know the rules. You can't run something when you know that, you don't know the rules, then you expect to be given anything that you want. You can't demand on anything when the rules you're breaking. So what I'm asking, if the FKF can give this to the former footballers, then I'm telling you the truth, the football will be the best in the country. But now, we can't say that football is the best because it's being run by people who don't even know what football is.
Do you think we have the goodwill?
Goodwill in football right now, you can have the money, but what about the brains? That is the problem we have. You don't know how to run football, then what do you expect? Just stay away, let the footballers run the football.
Thank you very much. That's Tony Lidonde. And for Tony, actually, he played for the national team, so he knows what he is saying. His dad also played for the national team, and he was one of the best players that we had at that time. There is a story about Elijah Lidonde, the dad of Tony Lidonde, the man that we were speaking with. There is a time he took a penalty, he kicked a ball, and that ball